Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to the virtual media IPO meet of Network People Services Technologies Limited, better known as NPST. The company is coming up with its IPO on NSE Emerge platform. To give you more insight about the company and the issue, I would like to welcome Mr. Ashok Holani, Director of Holani Consultant Private Limited, and Mr. Sanjay Fadke, Company Secretary, Bank of India Merchant Bankers, BRLMs to the issue. Ashokji, over to you.
Thank you, Vastuvanji. Hello, friends. I, Ashok Holani, Director, Holani Consultants Private Limited, and BRLM to this issue. Welcomes all of you in this media meet of NPST Limited. Alongside with me, मेरे colleague, मेरे friend, Mr. Sanjay Fadke, also BRLM to this issue, are present on this platform. From the company side, I welcome Shri Deepak Thakur, Chairman and Managing Director, NPST Limited, Ashish Agrawal, Co-founder, NPST Limited, Mr. Rajiv Bedi, Chief Technology Officer of NPST Limited. I welcome all of you on this IPO Media Meet of NPST Limited. Friends, NPST is coming up with an initial public offer of 30.7 crores on the Emerge platform on National Stock Exchange of India Limited. Issue will open on 28 July 2021 and will close on 2nd August 2021. The complete issue is done under book building process, and the price band of this issue has fixed at 76 to 80 rupees at lower end and upper end of the price. The application shall be made in a multiple of 1600 equity shares of the company. This is a complete fresh issue of the shares. No OFS is made in this public issue. Issue structure has been defined in the following manner. 3,74,400 shares have been reserved for the QIP categories for bidding in this IPO. 6,81,600 shares has been reserved for the HNI category for bidding in this IPO. 5,69,600 equity shares have been reserved for the retail category for bidding in this IPO. And the last 86,400 shares have been reserved for a market maker for bidding in this IPO. Friends, NPST company was incorporated in 2013, and from since then, the company is making year-to-year growth in both the profit and the turnover multiples. The company has three verticals. One vertical is known as TSP vertical, under which company develops fintech software for the banking industries. Another vertical is TPAP vertical. In this, company focus on digital payments under the license taken from the NPCI. And the third vertical is Sarv Seva Kendra, under which company provides a platform for the merchants to deliver services to the citizens via web or mobile-based solutions. Now I hand over this mic to the Deepak Thakur to explain in detail about the company, its business and processes. Thank you. Over to Deepak ji.
Thank you so much, Ashokji, and thanks everyone uh, for joining today. Uh, I would, Vastupal, if we can share a presentation here, I would like to take that.
Is limited. The increased demand for digital banking services has caused a wide adoption of many revolutionary technologies. The world is digitalizing and is changing how people interact and do business on a day-to-day basis. And advancements in banking technology are continuing to influence the future of financial services around the world. From retail and mobile banking to neobank startups, technology has its hand in seemingly every aspect of the banking industry. NPST is in the business of providing digital platform to merchants, banks, and financial sector with key focus on payments and smart transactions. NPST business is divided into three verticals. Technology service provider. We play the role of technology expert for banking clients in digital payment space. We provide highly scalable, certified, and future ready payment platform to operate seamlessly. Our payment platform includes mobile banking, IMPS payment switch, Bheem UPI payment switch, and e-wallets.
The future is, of course, taking it to cloud, creating an open banking platform, and creating a huge and a larger access to these products for my banks as well as the merchant ecosystem.
Merchant PSP. Under this business vertical, we have successfully developed TimePay app, one of the MPCI approved payment platform to operate UPI payments. Our objective is to empower micro, small, and medium enterprise with digital technology and bring them to a competitive strength in the industry. The platform will not only provide digital payments but also solve business problems such as e-invoicing, collections, e-receipts, auto accounting, inventory, online orders and bookings, banking services, and so on. IT services.
We work on the turnkey model as well as we work on the manpower as a service model. We have a full stack development. We have right from the architecture till the system guys, and this is where we have built solutions for an African company, for one of the largest e-commerce company in the country, and this is the model wherein the organization is indeed creating a larger margin.
We have dedicated team who are working on specific client side projects wherein we are focused on what our client demands, and based upon that we are working on those frequent changes which our customers are asking for.
Serve Seva Kendra. Serve Seva Kendra is a digital merchant platform for B2B segment. With the help of Serve Seva Kendra, services are delivered by merchants to the citizen through web or mobile-based solution. TimePay app has been our flagship product of NPST with a huge scope to bring a paradigm shift in the industry. TimePay app is a digital ecosystem which offers complete solution for home owner. It provides value addition to merchants over its payment platform through auto collection of amount, invoicing generation, recurring payment, receipt, reconciliation, etc. TimePay helps simplify and organize society operations like society administration, maintenance management, vendor relations, tenant management, security solution, and accounting and reporting. In order to help and improvise merchants' presence in market and empower them with an opportunity to scale their business, TimePay has brought automation for merchants in sales and operations by providing a single platform for online orders, inventory management, invoicing, payments and reconciliation, and customer management.
As NPST, we are having a development hub in Noida, are having a presence in 12 cities across the country. Now, if you are talking about the future market prospect, so I think there is a huge potential in domestic as well as international market. Government landscape is also supporting this feature. So that's our aim. We can go big in the coming years. As I already told you that we are a bootstrap company. We don't have any kind of loans. We have till now we have managed the entire show with our own investment, and you can say our operational profits. So that's the objective. We can achieve something big, and I think this is very doable for us.
Last 7 years we have been a bootstrap company, and we have reached so far with completely an operational profit and a very strong sense of creating huge value for our stakeholders, I mean for our customers and for our employees. Now obviously we want to get a far bigger outreach, and that is where the organization is going to take a larger step.
NPST, Network People Services Technologies Limited.
Yeah. So First of all, again, thank you so much for joining, everyone. This is Deepak, and with me I have Ashish and Rajiv, uh, who has joined this call. NPST we started in 2013, and that was the time when we decided to get completely into digital segment. First venture we started with focusing completely on wallet, use that for a rural reach, and then we created Sarva Seva Kendra with about 2,000 odd centers. That is what fueled growth for the organization, and we transformed completely into a digital payment product company. And as you can see today, one of the biggest change that we have seen, the complete support that we have for the industry during this pandemic is obviously digital payments, which has helped banks and which has helped financial institutions to continue their support and to continue the entire engine of the economy. And NPST plays an extremely micro role in this entire ecosystem. While we have developed solutions such as mobile banking, IMPS, and UPI, we continue to enhance our product. We continue to develop solutions, including intelligence-driven platform and open banking platform. That is what our major business is all about, and we are called as technology service provider in this domain. uh, Pastupal, can you take to the next slide? um, yeah. And and 3 years back we took a big decision about we have been working with banks in payment segment, and we have been working with them for about last 6 years now. We have been developing payment solutions. We own the IP. It was time to take this entire solution to merchants, and that is where we decided to tie up with one of our customers, Cosmos Bank. They helped us. They sponsored us as a TPAP, and we went to NPCI. After 3 years of efforts, we are in a position to launch our own UPI payment solution in the market. And this solution is obviously targeted toward micro, small, and medium enterprise. The market size is huge, and obviously this is one area where everyone talking about UPI, where the segment has not only caught the eye of the QR payments, but also a lot of new innovations which will be happening around payments. So, merchant PSP obviously is the major growth area for the company going forward. IT services is where we completely focus on organization margin. This is one area where we have full stack development team, and we utilize that to generate bigger margins for the organization. We take projects on turnkey model as well as manpower as a service. We have executed solutions for some of the largest clients, one in Africa, one in India. And this has really helped us add margin and fuel our vision towards merchant PSP. Can you take to the next slide? Vastupal? Yeah. So if you look at the overall technology service provider domain that we are operating, we are not just working around the payment piece, but we are also doing a lot of innovation around it. I mean, when it comes to UPI payments, we are not just an acquirer or an issuer platform solution provider, but we have also worked on the merchant pieces. Today we have a complete bouquet of services wherein we can help bank acquire merchants, acquire digital pieces for their businesses, and also generate margins. So this platform is obviously something which we have developed over a period of time, and it has started giving us revenue. We have bagged order around this. At the same time, when it comes to wallet, it's not just a simple mobile wallet, but also a web-based wallet, and also a solution which can be taken globally. Moreover, we have developed engines which will be used for integrating multiple layers into banking ecosystem. We start with card-based integration, but at the same time, when it comes to overall fintech ecosystem, this integration layer will be utilized across all e-commerce, m-commerce platform, which bank wants to integrate into their platform. So that's what we do with TSP domain. Like, can you go to the next slide, please? Now, this is where the company has, really focused and looks forward for the transition. When we talk about the payment ecosystem in the market, let's look at the overall platform that we have. We have payment gateway, we have card based solution, we have QR based solution, we have account to account transfers through net banking. UPI is one of the most disruptive payment channel which looks at every single platform, and this is a solution which has grown tremendously over the last few years. Going forward in coming 3 to 4 years, this is going to have nothing less than 15 to 20 times growth. This is what the numbers we have seen. On this platform, the solution which we have right now, something which we can launch thanks to our partnership with Cosmos Bank. We have written ERPs, a common solution which every single merchant would require. It may be banking services, it may be business services. These services are something which are common across all domain. It may be, if we talk about payments, it may be invoicing around payments, it may be receipts, it may be auto accounting, compliances. The entire financial value chain for a merchant is managed in this platform. So a customer now does not need a separate system for payments, a separate system for accounting, a separate system for maintaining customer records, and a completely separate system for creating an invoicing and reconciliation process, and then be dependent on T+2 or T+3 process to get the overall recon done with the bank through the payment gateway platform. But this is a completely a real-time platform which stitches all these solutions, all these requirements of the customers, of the merchants into a single domain. While this becomes a common requirement across the industry, we started writing domain expertise around key merchant categories that we wanted to target. Cooperative housing society obviously is something which we initiated first. So we started writing domain expertise around gated security, around polling, around vendor management. At the very same time, where we realized that the similar demands started coming in from the other businesses where subscription is common. So it may be gym, it may be hostel, it may be coaching classes, it may be EMI schemes in jewelry store, it may be digital pass in transit system. All these segment has similar requirements. So our product then had, we realized that our product obviously has much larger demand in the market. So we started writing specific domain ERPs around each of these categories. So that's the overall growth plan that we see across with this merchant PSP domain. Asupal, can you take to the next slide? Well, there's no running away from the key statistics that the kind of smartphone users that we have in our country, and the growth in payment transactions that this country has seen in last 3 years, specifically after demonetization, and the adoption of the overall technology, the adoption of several payment applications, several digital applications in the market. It may be food industry, it may be e-commerce, it may be a local application supporting a particular city. There's a huge adoption and there's a huge innovation happening across all segments. There is pharma industry. Every single industry is now coming on the mobile application. And when that happens, ultimately every single transaction resolution happens with transactions, obviously the payment. And when that happens, this gives a huge opportunity for a company like us, who are not just into payment segment, but who have been writing ERPs and writing all the solutions around the payment and the financial value chain that a merchant may require. So that's the landscape that we operate. Uh, can I have the next slide? We would like to cite the growth figures of the industry and the merchant PSP that we are operating right now. In October 2019, UPI payments touched about 1 billion transactions. For the first time, it crossed a billion mark. But very next year in October 2020, it was 2 billion transactions. It was double. Now, we don't see, first of all, such a phenomenal growth is something that helps understand the adoption of digital payments in the country. But beyond this, when we look at the new use cases coming in the market, and we see the products being the innovations which is happening in the market, and we see the problem solving skills, the problem solving capacity that this particular product has, then we will realize that it is projected in next 3 to 4 years this will go from 2 billion to 30 billion transactions a month. So we are talking about 100 crore transactions every single day. We are talking about the financial transactions. And when that happens, obviously UPI is will be will be something which will be looking into every single payment channel. So if you compare UPI right now, what we were doing in net banking, you can do it in UPI through account to account transfer. What you were doing in debit cards, you can do it through QR payments. So the hardware based technology is now simple QR based technology. What we were doing in prepaid cards is something that is going to be the next expected in UPI. What we were seeing in Nash as a recurring payment solution, you can see the same resolution being given in the UPI platform through recurring mandate. Standing instruction will again be available in UPI through one-time mandate, and who knows in future what more will be added into this platform, being so innovative in nature. So this is where we operate. This is where we see, the organization taking small steps into every single channel, every single new use cases, every single new merchant categories that will arise on our ERP, on our payment platform. Yeah, Vastu, may I have the next slide? Yeah. So just to give you a quick idea about the current picture of our product, we are operating in nothing less than 700 odd cooperative housing societies, which we started just last year in June during pandemic. The figure is nothing less than about 6 to 7 lakh cooperative housing societies in the country, all taken together. We are not talking about the unregistered number. So if we take all the competition together in the market, we still have more than 90% of the segment yet to be acquired. Now that's what we are talking about. We are not just looking at payment as a solution for solving collection issues, but we are also seeing this as a platform to solve the overall ecosystem challenges that a cooperative housing society may be having today. And when we start replicating this to other segments, we see that nothing less than 90% as an open market opportunity for us. Yeah, may I have the next slide? So this is what we have been talking about. As an organization, we do not. So UPI so this merchant PSP for us is not a platform where we are targeting the users directly. We are not into B2C domain. We are majorly a B2B solution provider. For last 8 years, that is what we have been. We have been working with banks on their on the requirements around digital payments, and the same ecosystem we would like to carry forward for merchants. So societies are our merchants, gym, and all those categories which I've mentioned are our merchants. We empower them with the digital payments and the micro ERP that we have written. This solution helps them reach out to their members. This solution helps them to reach out to their user base and solve their collection issues, solve their ecosystem issue. So we are into B2B to C domain, wherein we empower our merchants, and our merchants take the advantage of the solution that we provide, and then they reach out to their members and their merchant on their user base and solve their issues. One of the biggest issue, obviously, being the collection, that is also solved through this platform. Yeah, the next slide, please. So just to give you an idea what we do, basically we work with banks, we work with larger institutions, we also work in the retail segment, and this is where we pick up businesses of large banks, small merchants, corporates, and then we provide them the solution. This overall product generates a subscription revenue for the organization, transaction revenue, and obviously when we have such a huge ecosystem to service, there are a lot of premium services which gets added to this platform. So these are multiple revenue sources for us. Next slide, please. Just to give you an idea how the landscape and the overall journey of a product, and how the future is going to look like. So when we go to a particular merchant, our society or gym or hostels, what we do is we empower them with the solution to solve their immediate problems. And let's take a case of cooperative housing society. We solve their financial issues, which is obviously related to collections, reconciliations, and book of accounts. At the same time, we also solve their issues around gated community, the requirement around society management. And when they are actually into this, so we are actually creating a digital behavior of a customer by doing this. And when that happens, let me tell you that 3 years, 4 years down the line, every single cooperative housing society in this country will be looking for a software. It may be an online software, it may be an offline software, but yes, software is the way ahead to solve their problems. And when we are into this segment, the very next step for us being in this ecosystem is where we keep on adding more merchants who are providing services to that society ecosystem. And when we add those merchants, there are larger transactions, there are larger opportunities around it. And when we do that in a particular city, if we have nothing less than 300, 400 odd societies, it creates a huge local demand for hyper local digital solution available in that city amongst the merchants who would like to provide services to these customers. So that's where hyper local services then gets added to the platform in the third stage. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next, this is our product for you. You can have a look at it. Basically, the payment piece obviously is something that comes from our merchant PSP, and rest is the ERP which we have written for the society. Yeah. Can I next, please? When we do this, basically we are not just creating a digital ecosystem for the cooperative housing society. We are actually creating a larger impact across micro and small ecosystem. This is obviously is something which creates an opportunity for those who would like to adopt digital platforms to generate better business opportunities. create a larger demand amongst those who would like to have an access to these services from the local market. Unfortunately, they don't have the mean. This also generates an employment opportunity within cities. It also creates all that all those categories which are neglected due to the the compliances in the overall ecosystem that we have. All those categories are covered under this part. So we obviously are looking at larger impact just beyond the cooperative housing societies or those merchant categories that we have been targeting. Next, please. Uh, Ashokji, would you like to take this?
Hello friends. So now I will guide you about the financial front of the company and performance of the company. The company is, as I told you, is engaged in the software development and technology providing solutions to the banks. So they are mainly focused on rendering the services. The EBITDA margin of the company is increasing on year-to-year basis. It is from 16% in 18-19 has increased to 19.42% in current financial year. Similarly, profits, PAT margins are more or less same 6.8% of the turnover. Return on capital employed is decreasing from 37% to 19%, but it is mainly due to the conversion of the reserves into the equity of the company. Net worth has also in declining from 29% to 15%. That is also due to the issue of the bonus share the company before going to the IPO. As I know that, as you all know, that company is a bootstrap company. It has not taken any loan from the banks, and it is running from their own sources of funds. EPS of the company is running around 2.30 after bonus issue. So overall, the company on a growth trajectory and looking seems to be on a future. It will go on a same track. The most important thing is the utilization of the funds which will be raised by us from this IPO. The objective of this IPO is to raise funds for meeting the product development of TimePay. Although certain features of this product has already been developed by us, but there are a lot of changes which companies proposing to develop in their TimePay solutions, and for which they are raising the funds. Out of the 13 crore 70 lakh which will raise from the market, around 6.38 crores will go in the development of the TimePay solutions of the company. Another 4 crore rupees will go into the equipments and hardware which the company require in deploying these TimePay solutions across the societies and in their offices also. And 3.3 crores we have kept this particular sum for meeting the marketing and promotional requirement of our TimePay applications, and the balance, whatever is left in the IPO, it will be used for meeting the general corporate purposes and for meeting the issue expenses. The final figure will be decided after the freezing of the price band, which is ranging between 76 to 80 rupees. As I told you, the company is basically a fintech company. The major revenue comes from this lending solution as on date. So the major customers of the company are the Canara Bank, one of the largest public sector bank in India. Along with this, recently the Canara Bank has taken over the syndicate bank. So now they have merged entities completely looked after by the NPST solution, digital TSP model, and they render complete services to these two banks, the merged banks. More detail, what I say, any digital transaction coming into the Canara Bank or going out of the Canara Bank has to be gone through the NPST solutions only. Apart from the banks, other three banks which are on the fold of the NPST are Osmos Cooperative Bank, Karnataka Gramin Bank, and Kerala Gramin Bank. As I also told you, the company is also into the software development solutions. So they are working closely with Softtech, another listed entity in the market, and the IBM, for which they provide solutions to the IBM on a case-to-case basis. These are the work customers on the company digital platform. And the new TSP, new TAP business which company is planning to launch, it will be the societies or the gyms or the schools which they will sooner or later acquire and date of it. Over to Deepakji.
Thank you so much, Ashokji. So yeah, so that's all about what we obviously wanted to do for last 7 8 years. We have been able to achieve through limited sources of funds that we had created as an organization to operating profit. Now is the time to look at the larger outreach. We have to obviously look at bigger markets. We have targeted to our product. Last 3 years we have been working on this platform. We have been able to achieve it through our internal sources. We have the solution in place. We have the orders in place. We have a good relation in place. Last 6 years, that is what we have been doing. And when we go forward from here, obviously, when the industry is moving right now, when the industry talks about open banking, when the industry talks about intelligence-driven platform, when the industry talks about taking payments to every single small and micro ecosystems. NPST is a company which should be present in each of these segments. So that's what we have been looking at. And yeah, that's all from my side. I think if there's anything else, we can take it to Q&A. Uh, I think that will give much more clarity. Ashokji, would you like to take this part?
Yeah, hi, Mr. Mukesh Patel. The quota for QIB is taken at 23% because we have the commitments from the QIB during the course of the marketing for investment in this.
So, why it is not included in the TPAP list? Well, let me tell you that there's a very lengthy process that an organization has to go through to be a TPAP. There has to be a process around the security and the regulatory compliances, which the company has already completed, right party already signed, and the infra compliances, all of that are done. This particular piece will be available quickly because there is one last piece, there is one single OC compliance which has to be completed for which the company has already submitted. The application is already given a green signal after closed user group testing within NPCI, and we are also doing a closed user group testing right now. This is a limited audience testing. Once this is done, and when we are making it live, this will be made available on the NPST. So we will be we have already set the up. So when it comes to the number of transactions, let me tell you, last 6 years of experience has been extremely strong with us. Right now in banking domain, we are managing nothing less than almost 9 to 10 million transactions every single day. Taking mobile banking, IMPS, and UPI together of all our customers. So the scale is obviously when we started we started with a projection of about 6 million monthly transactions, but we are doing about 9 to 10 million a day. And obviously, the company has adopted the latest solutions in the market when it comes to the coding practice. And the scalability, obviously, we are right now looking at nothing less than 5 to 10 times of what we are doing currently. And it can go much beyond that also. How do we stand competition against Google Pay, Phone Pay, Mobikwik? All right. Very good question. I'm happy this has come up. See, the thing is, our business model is not similar to what they are doing. Being in UPI domain is not to compete with them. Being in UPI domain is to innovate and bring a solution which does not exist in the market. That's what we have been working on. Sitting behind banks for about all these years, we have seen where the gap is, where the challenge is, and where there will be a need for solutions to be written for certain ecosystems which cannot come under certain compliances and certain objectives. So when we decided to go for merchant PSP, the idea was only merchant. It was not about B2C segment, like I said earlier in my presentation. So here, this approach will obviously help us to acquire bigger merchant size, the number of transactions, and solve their collection issues. And when we do that, obviously their subscribers coming on our platform is what the scalability that we will be talking about in the future. So let's say there is a cooperative housing society. So we want to service that cooperative housing society, solve their problem. And when we do that, there are 100 members in the cooperative housing society who will be using our application. But we are not the one giving them the application. This application can have millions of versions. So the ecosystem that we have written is such that every single merchant can have their own customized model. They can have their own customized TimePay, and they can give it to their customer base, and this is entirely configurable. It's not that my developer has to do the coding for every single merchant. No, it's purely configurable at my back office. If there are 10,000 merchants on my platform, there can be 10,000 versions of TimePay. That's what we are into. So we are in a different segment altogether. Obviously, as and when we grow with the business, and as and when we look forward for the opportunities that the product will generate for the company, it will have a larger demand across various segments, metros, tier 1, tier 2, everywhere. There will geographies may differ, but obviously, as of today, when we are present in about 11 cities, we are present in the state capital, and we are present in cities much below that, and we are present in the metros also. So everywhere we have seen that the issues around collections remain same, issues around reconciliation remain same, but when it comes to very specifics around the premium services, that is where the game will change. And when that happens, we will obviously be looking at the right cities. Maybe metro will have a different demand, and then tier 1 will have different demand. If some fraud happens, who will have the liability for the compensation? So let me give you a very quick clarity on the ecosystem. So we are a PSP. We don't hold account. We are not we don't hold the funds. The transaction is always between a remitter and the beneficiary bank. We are authorized to link your bank accounts and get the transactions done. In the entire ecosystem, every single party is owner for their roles. So when it is a remitter role, they will have their own liabilities. When it is beneficiary, they have their own role to play. And when it is PSP, my ecosystem, I am owner for my ecosystem. So so when it comes to fraud, let me tell you that we are compliant with all the regulatory requirements of NPCI. Ultimately, such guidelines being laid down by RBI. So these are all rules that we have already followed, and only after that we have got the permission to go ahead and launch the product. Basis that we take care of the overall transaction flow happening through our system. But when it comes to the remitter and the beneficiary accounts, those banks, wherever the transaction happens, they own that liability. Yeah. Ashokji, this question, would you like to take? Can't hear you, Ashokji.
Yeah, hi. The size of the IPO is 13.7 crores, and the objective of the IPO is to meet the software development cost of the company regarding the time pay. 6.8 crore will go for that. Around 3.3 crore will go for the hardware acquisitions, and around 3.3 crore again go for marketing and promotion of the company, and balance will go for the GCP and the issue expenses. Next.
What kind of growth do we see in digital payments, and can we achieve that growth? Well, let me give you an idea. Like I said, let us look at this from two aspects. One is when we talk about the segment that we operate in. When we talk about merchant PSP in the UPI domain, like I said, uh, uh, 2 billion in October 2020. In 4 years, 3 to 4 years down the line, that's the estimations that we have in the market. It is bound to go to 1 billion every single day. And new use cases are being developed in the market. New opportunities are being created around that. The adoption of digital platform as a whole, let's not talk about the payment alone. Adoption of the digital platform as a whole. It may be pharma companies, it may be pathology labs, it may be food, it may be grocery. Every single digital adoption in the country will have its impact on the payment landscape, will have its impact straight on the digital payment landscape. So there may be industry growing at 50%, there may be another industry growing at 70%. Every single industry will be contributing to the digital payment landscape. And that is one of the key reasons why UPI alone is looking at 30 billion, and then you can add on the IMPS, mobile banking, or internet banking, or card-based transactions, or the other means of transactions to it, and then you see in next 4 years what numbers we will have in the market. When it comes to the question around our growth, let me tell you that we are looking at a very micro percentage of the ownership in the market, and as an organization, we believe that we have been at right stage at right time with the right product. And when that happens, this is the time we have taken a step to go for an IPO. This is one main reason. We are confident on our order books. We are confident on our product. We are confident on the strategy that the organization has taken. We have been slow, but we have been extremely strong in what the decisions we have taken. And this will obviously help us guide the overall growth that industry is looking at. So it's important which bus we are taking, and I think digital payment is the bus which everyone would like to take. What kind of financial contribution? When can we see financial contribution from TimePay app and the margin? I cannot talk about the margin right now due to certain compliance issues. I am not allowed to do that. But let me tell you, the financial contribution will start coming from this year itself, this financial year, FY22. So let me tell you, cash automation is the best technique. That's what the entire industry follows. When it comes to fraud, it is extremely imperative to follow all the industry best practices. The company is already ISO 27001 certified. We have third-party code audits. We have third-party server audits. We have followed all the bank, whatever compliances bank has laid down for us. Our sponsor bank, Cosmos Bank. We have followed all the guidelines laid down by NPCI. So all of that done, and when we have got the green signal from the third party auditors, that is the only time when we decided to go ahead. Obviously there will be certain insurance, there will be certain prevention techniques. Like I said, we have been continuously working on the auto intelligence mechanism. This is one of the product which we are extremely confident about in the market, which will obviously become part of our TSP domain as well. The solution gives a real time intelligence around what's happening in the engine, what's happening in the transaction, where the transaction is flowing, whether there is any gap in the system. So all of this post facto, pre facto, whatever we call it, is made available through this intelligence driven system. So we are confident that this will not only be helping my TimePay system, but it will also be a great product for the market beyond the overall audit, regular audits, the compliances, and the insurance techniques.
I think all the questions have been answered. So, friends, we close this media meet, and I thank you all of you for joining us and asking so many questions to us. And I hope we all have satisfied you in our answers, either me or by Deepak ji. So I thank you Deepak ji, Ashish ji, Rajiv ji, and Sanjay ji for joining this. And very thanks to Leading Advisors for organizing this beautiful meet. Thank you.